What's good, y'all? This your country cousin Pete McCorvey, a.k.a. Peter Mac. Man, get on up here. Pull you up one, light you up one, kick your shoes off, relax, baby. You around family. We on the porch. It's Pete McCorvey's Porch Talk. Let's do this.
What's up, family? This your country cousin Pete McCorvey, a.k.a. Peter Mac, and welcome back to the porch. Once again, we made it through another week, man. Some of us, it was smooth sailing. Some of us, the week probably kicked our ass. I know the week kicked my ass, but hey, like Tony Montana when he was in his mansion, taking all them slugs from Sosa's hitters, I'm still standing, motherfucker. I take everything you got. But we still here, man. And speaking of taking a bullet, unfortunately, I got to segue into this. You know, I dedicated my last episode to the memory of Coach John Beam, who became worldwide renowned for being the coach of the Laney College Eagles, a community college in Oakland, California, in the 5th and final season of Netflix highly acclaimed docuseries Last Chance U. Well, fortunately for his family and the whole Bay Area community who love this man for all the work he did, helping young men to better their lives, getting them to a better future, and hell, some of them to the NFL, they made an arrest. I think like less than 24 hours after he was unfortunately and senselessly murdered, Oakland Police Department made an arrest. The prime suspect in Coach John Beam's murder was 27-year-old Cedric Irvin Jr. He happened to be a former Skyline High School football player, although he was not there at the time that Coach Beam was coaching at Skyline. The reason how the brother got access into the field house where he senselessly took Coach Beam's life is because he was a brother to one of the players of somebody who played at Laney for Coach Beam. I mean, the kid worked out with the team, but he was not on the team. That's why a lot of people said that they felt the shooting was targeted, and it's very coincidental because Coach Beam had recently raised concerns about the safety on the college campus. This, like I said, this is just so tragic, man. A lot of people saying they believe that the man who killed Coach Beam, he suffered from mental illness. I remember being online and seeing a guy who was in Oakland in one of the posts that they were memorializing Coach Beam on, and he said he used to work out with him at some gym in Oakland, said the guy was doing some very questionable shit next to him. So he said so he doesn't find it hard to believe that Irvin was mentally unstable. But I'm just saying, we're going to have to stop putting that stigma on everybody, man, especially with this killing being in Oakland, which is notorious for gun violence. I mean, if you like me, you listen to a lot of Bay Area music, that's one of the main themes, other than pimping and dope dealing, is shooting, busting guns. So sometimes we can't just put, he was mental. No, the man was just, he was just a fuck up. And I'm going to call it straight like that. The dude was just a fuck up, but hopefully justice will be served. And once again, Coach Beam, wherever you are listening to this, our thoughts and prayers go out to your family. And like I said in the last episode, when I dedicate the whole Bay Area community, May they hold that brother to the highest extent of the law. Now, on to something that's disturbing also, but I'm not gonna lie. This shit was hilarious, y'all. Next thing I'm gonna talk about is, so, I don't know if y'all heard that rumor this past week, that rumor about, so apparently, Donald Trump is rumored to, when they're trying to find the Epstein files and all that, they found some type of correspondence he had with somebody where he was allegedly trying to put his mouth on Bill Clinton. He didn't say Bill Clinton's name, but it said Bubba, and y'all that know that, I know that that's Bill Clinton's one of Bill Clinton's nicknames. Boy, that is not something I had on my 2025 bingo card, y'all. Is I found out that Bill Clinton was out there trying to get oral fixations from old Agent Orange. You know, but apparently, like, I heard they said something about Bubba was supposed to be another dude, like some real estate mogul from Odessa, Texas named, but like, I don't know. They said, would it be in the Epstein files? You know, everybody always claiming that the Clintons' names were involved in that. You know, that's a little too close for home, man. I don't even want to believe that about Bill Clinton. I'm just going to say this. If he was going to be gay, that's what you going to choose? You going to choose Donald J. Trump as the man you wanted to blow your horn like you blow the saxophone on Arsenio Hall back in the 90s when you was running for president. That's who you want to emulate Denzel Washington Movement of Blues on your horn. That just, but you know who I know somewhere just sitting back, and she probably having a field day with this, and I was surprised, and she probably gonna say something about it because she got a podcast out herself. I know LaMonica Lewinsky is somewhere sitting back with a shitty grin on her face going, see? What I tell y'all? What in the hell did I tell y'all? But you know what's funny about this, y'all? This whole ordeal kind of remind me of a joke Dave Chappelle told on his 2004 Showtime stand-up special, For What It's Worth. When he was like, he said something, he talked about Bill Clinton doing what he was doing with Monica Lewinsky. He said, look at her, look at him. He said, that man ain't want that. He said, that man's a busy man. He said, she just was the first person that came down the hallway. And he went outside looking around frantically like, you, I need my blankety blank done before my 3:30. Come on. Like, boy, that makes that joke even more hilarious now. Oh my God. Like, that's the one thing I be loving about like cartoons, comedians, satire, anything satirical, period. People be thinking these people just saying this shit to just say it. But these people be right on point with it because they noticing trends and shit like that. They like, this shit is, this is, I can tell by the way this is going. That's why I'm saying those people are geniuses because they got a full scope on society and where it's needed to. Like, just like the people who wrote the movie Idiocracy and the people who wrote the movie Demolition Man. They all was like, we can tell by the way shit is going, how it's going to end up. And Dave Chappelle, that's why he's one of my favorite comedians, because boy, did he see this shit coming a long time ago. Woo-wee. Another news, Melissa Ford, she's all over social media. Most recently, I seen a couple of clips. One clip, she was talking to somebody. She was talking about almost getting essayed on a set of a music video, but luckily she was saved by a male bystander who kind of diverted the situation by telling her, hey, he needed her to talk to someone and guided her to another room or something from a guy that was trying to essay her. And then In her episode of her podcast, Hot and Bothered, where she had Charlamagne the God on there as a host, she tried to talk about misogyny. I'm going to say this about Melissa Ford. It seemed to be like, that seemed to be a common story she's always telling. And then misogyny plays a role. You know, she tried to say misogyny is the reason she had a problem on the Joe Budden podcast. And I always tell them about all this stuff that happened on all these these music shoots she was on and everything. And I've just come to this conclusion. I'm going to tell you like my grandma said. If you pretty much having the same problem everywhere you go, it ain't everywhere you go, it's you. Not trying to downplay misogyny, especially in rap music, especially rap music videos we saw in the late 90s, early 2000s, especially during the BET Uncut era. You know, that was misogyny, objectification of women in its highest form. I watched it, yes I did. Do I still love Chip Drill? Yes I do. But looking back, it was like, oh my God. Like Charlamagne the God, who I just mentioned, like he said, we were raised on low-key rape culture. We were. But it just seemed like this is something she just keeps attacking over and over again, especially when shit don't work out for her, because her going on Joe Budden's podcast, joining the group on Joe Budden's podcast. Let's look at Joe Budden's podcast. There's nothing but men on there. And then she came on there. And it's like I've seen a couple of people mention on the internet. It's like she basically mad because she went in the middle of barbershop conversations and was wondering why men who are having barbershop conversations are not seeing things from her point of view. Because the introduction of her being on Joe Budden's podcast, when they had, I think they were trying to test the water, something, she came on there drunk, was talking wild, talking about dick sizes, and raised a leg up, had her feet out, pretty much saying a woman had a pretty feet is pretty much the equivalent of a man having a big dick. And then she kept trying to get mad. She had like major, I seen a couple podcasts. I ain't sit there and watch all of them all the way through, because him and Joe Rogan, I can't sit through their podcasts or Drink Champs, because that shit just too long. But from what I was seeing, if she wanted to have major main character energy on a podcast that's named after somebody else. You know, she was going to Ish all the time. Ish was serving her ass. She was trying to go and flip, talking about he ain't hardly here all the time. He don't do this, do that. Basically pocket watching that man. So it finally blew up when she walked off, because I think Ish finally had enough and he called out on the bull. She walked off, said, y'all always tag me. No, Ish was like, no, you do this shit all the time. You try to make a point that when somebody else make a fucking point, you don't want to hear it. Like Ish was like, he was trying with it, but Ish was like, I'm not gonna let you pull this. I'm being sassy. A woman called sex call, said, no, you just full of shit. It's like that's the constant problem she has everywhere. And even with how we know that she's most likely the problem, because look at when she was on Hollywood Unlocked with Jason Lee. They couldn't be together. And like, you know, if like Jason Lee, you can't, you getting under Jason Lee's skin. That is one of the most messiest motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life. And I just found this out this past week. They got him on the city council for Stockton, California, which explains why Stockton is kind of, you know, because if you know what you know about Stockton is, they with the shits out there. But explain why they kind of way they are is if you got that motherfucker on y'all city council shit, no wonder it's taking a long time for a lot of shit to get fixed. But yeah, just it's just her. Like, and the thing is, like that old saying when people be like, "Well, if a woman's in her 50s, she ain't never had no kids, she ain't never been married, there's something wrong with her." It don't fit the ad. That don't fit for everybody. I hate to say it, I think it fit for her. I really, really do. I swear I think it fit for her, and it hurts my heart because I'm not gonna even lie. I actually love her podcast, I Ain't Bothered. Like, I got put on to it when the episode where she had the late great Malcolm Jamal Warner on there, who, aka Theo, as much as he hated to be called Theo. That's how I got put on there, and it was amazing. I watched a few episodes of podcast, and it's great. But it's just like, I think that's the lane she need to do. She need to do her own thing. She don't need to try to work with nobody else because all the focus needs to be on her. And with that, and Hot and Bothered, it works great because it is her shit. She ain't got to share the limelight with nobody. It's all about Melissa Ford. And that's what she need to do. She need to just focus on doing her own thing. Because I just heard her team play is not for her. That's all I'm going to say. Team play is not for her. I wonder if she's still driving the court. I had to do it, y'all. I had to throw that in there. You go online and all that. You go on the thread, you see a picture of her somewhere, you gonna see that court. Yeah, I had to throw it in there. On to another lady. I mentioned one Lee. I mentioned Jason Lee, but now I'm gonna talk about Suni Lee. She is all over social media because recently on the Ha Ha podcast, Suni Lee said that her type of men are athletes and men who are emotionally intelligent. She claims that's her type. Now, I hate when people do this shit. Like, she said athletes that are emotionally intelligent. We have seen over the years, hell, for decades, that a lot of athletes are not emotionally intelligent. Hell, just as recently with Patrick Beverly attacking his sister, who was 15, because he caught her with an 18-year-old dude. He pulled a Tony Montana on his sister Gina, then choked up and threw her against the wall. Then we see what the hell Antonio Brown is doing. This motherfucker lost his mind in real life. They doing some crazy ass shit. And all the athletes who went to jail for crashing out over stupid shit over the past shit since the 70s. You know what that is? That was her basically trying to make it seem like the fact that she liked athletes and try to say, well, there's a deeper reason why I liked it. Ladies, let me tell y'all something. You do not have to justify why you like what you like. If you want a dude that's 6'5", you ain't got to say, well, I like him. It ain't got nothing to do with 6'5". I feel like I can connect with him on a deep. No, it ain't. You like the fact that motherfucker 6'5", he tall. You can look up, you feel protected. Or he's aesthetically pleasing in your eyes because height equals attractiveness. Or you like dark-skinned dudes because that's just what turn you on. You don't have to throw no extras on it because if it's a shallow reason why you like somebody, yeah, let it be shallow. That's your preference. You don't have to explain it to anybody. That is what you like. You don't have to apologize for what you like. You don't have to make people seem like there's a deeper reason why you're doing it. It's just physically attractive to you. That's what like I said, I understand why Suni Lee wants an athlete. The woman is gold medal Olympic gymnast herself. She's an athlete. So, of course, she wants a man that's an athlete. She wants somebody that's in shape. She wants somebody good looking. Hell, be quiet as kept when she said athletes. The woman was basically saying, I want a man who has a nice body and has a pocket full of money. That's really what she was trying to say. She tried to doctor it up and make it sound like it was deep, but she was really trying to say, I want a man who looks good with his shirt off and has a bank account out of this world. She just wanted to try to make it seem like she wasn't being shallow or that she wasn't, in her eyes, a gold digger. But hey, if that's what you like, baby, that's what you like. You ain't got to justify it, but like that emotionally intelligent, coming for an athlete, boy, you already lost. That's like me saying, I want to date the neighborhood eater, but I love the fact that she's a Sunday school, but she got to be a Sunday school teacher or something. That is oxymoronic as hell. That ain't never happening. It's just, because like I say, women do that. They try to do this and justify, oh, he's just connect with me on this deep level, or he got potential. Man, we don't do that shit. We will gladly admit that we are fucking with a woman who ain't worth a damn. Cause when you ask us, you ask the homies, ask us, bro, why you messing with that bitch? She ain't got this, that, and third. We gonna say this, but look at that ass though. Or like, boy, if you knew how she sucked the skin up, you know what I'm saying? It's shallow. We gonna be honest, like, it's for a look or it's for something she do to me. We ain't gonna try to pull out our ass. Man, I just feel like she's a great person. Now, listen, thing, a lot of time out of 10, a lot of us, we don't give a damn about how great a person you are. Well, a lot of people, period, men or women, we want somebody who we can look at. And also somebody who make our bed rock. All that other shit is cool if they have it, but for the most part, can I look at you for a long period of time and do you make my toes curl in bed? That's what it is. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Cause I done been in some situations and I done seen family and friends, both male and female, in situations like this. Because of how they like, I got a prime example, older female family member of mine. Every time we talking about the men she dating her past, all of them cheaters, all of them drunks, dope heads, you know, they just not good men. I mean, we was talking one time, I cracked a joke because I heard about one person she was dating from my other older family. I wasn't born when she was dating this person. So I cracked a joke with him one time and she's like, oh, that man he wasn't no good. He was on drugs. And I said, hold up, time out. I said, why is it that everybody that you've been with is a drunk or dope head or a cheater? I'm like, you like that. You like that. You like that. You like how they look and you just something about them you like. Because I told him, I said, I guarantee you, all these men that who end up dating you, they not meeting up at some Super Friends Legion of Doom with you on the big screen and I'll say, hey, you see her right there? We gotta go over there and we gotta be the most trifling nigga we can to that woman right there. We got to. I was like, it's not a conspiracy. You out there looking for that type of dude. Like, you know, it was a example they told me one guy, they was dating. She was dating a guy, got to have a great relationship with his kids or his grandkids. She said she was talking to him about it. He was like, nah, he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to try to do none of that, this thing. So end up telling me, I checked in with him a few weeks later. Asked her, how's it going with that? She told me she ain't stopped messing with us. I said, why? I said, well, we went to this function, everybody dressed nice, but he had a grill in his mouth and then he wore Jordans, they had lace on my like. I said, wait a minute, so that was the line for you? Forget the fact this man said fuck his kids and his grandkids. Him having slugs in his mouth and wearing Jordans, that was the line for you? You know what I'm saying? It's just, We all got to do better when it comes to dating. Like, ladies, this ain't attacking you, because men, we do it too. We'll sit there when somebody we know ain't nothing, and they just showed us all kind of red flags, showing they ain't trying to do nothing in life, they ain't trying to go nowhere, trying to be nothing. But yet we gonna hold on to that because we are attracted to her big booty, hazel-eyed, nice, juicy, succulent. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, Lord, I was drooling. I had a flashback. Okay, I had a flashback. I apologize. But just, you know what? Like what you like and fuck what everybody think. I'm so happy because in TV, Landman is back. My man Billy Bob Thornton is back. Allie Lauder is back. It's a good thing. And you know what I liked about it? Remember what I told y'all a few episodes back about Big Extra Plug? He's making his music. People was trying to say he's trying to be country, but his music he trying to branch it out to have it in movies and TV. And I said I can see some of his music being in like the advertisements and trailers for Landman. On the season 2 trailer, they had Big Extra Plug Texas playing on the trailer. I caught it. I did the same thing years ago on Luke Cage when Method Man dropped Bulletproof, and I'm like, this should be on Luke Cage. And sure enough, they featured it in Luke Cage. I be knowing some shit. Man, that first episode felt like for it to be the season opener, I felt like it was kind of slow, but it still had its moments, man. It had some moments like, well, damn, it had some moments like, what the hell is that? Like Cammy Miller, Demi Moore's character, she is not taking no shorts. Like, after her husband died, who was played by John Hamm, a lot of y'all know him from the Madman fame, she came in there with all them big wigs and told them, look, I'm finna take this shit over. Y'all ain't finna say you don't fuck with me because it will not be a good day for you. She basically put it down. She said, there's a new bitch on the block. And even Tommy, you know, that's Billy Bob Thornton's character. He was like, really like, damn. Now, a scene I didn't understand, which just was totally just crazy, was Angela trying to be admitted in the TCU when she went to talk to the recruiter to see if they were going to let her in the TCU. Of course, she was already set up for failure because she's taking advice from Angela, who's already a dimwit. And you know, Angela already ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. But the thing was up and down because while she was talking to the recruiter said she had a 29 on the ACT, said, you know, that's average. Where in the hell y'all getting that from? A perfect score on the ACT is 36. So Angela making a 29, which don't seem right. I don't know how that dumbass made a 29. She is, oh my God, that girl is dumb as a box of rocks. But even still, for her to make a 29 on the ACT, that put her in the top 10% of people who took the fucking test. So, like, you trying to play down, because when that woman said 29 is average, I raised about the count like 29 average. The average on the ACT is like 18, 19, 20, probably 21. Like, the highest I got on the ACT was 19, and that's average. You know, that's why a lot of athletes, in order for them to take a scholarship, they need an 18, because that's like pretty much like, okay, you average. You ain't dumb as fuck when we think you'll fill out of college, but with 18, you can stay here. You might have to knuckle down. You're going to have to study. You got to like burn some midnight oil, but we got faith in you that you can stay here and get a degree and keep up. You're not going to get lost in the sauce. You're not going to get like left behind. And then the recruiter was just like real snobbish, looked down at her, thought, I mean, not correctly, she thought, right, because like basically you just a pretty girl who just want to do, like even Angela pretty much said, I'm just here to get a football player, you know, to try to strengthen my future, my gene pool and all that, and my future generations, and this, that, and the third. But the recruiter was just like a plain Jane who obviously was jealous of women like her. Obviously, it looked like the way she was acting, she must have got her boyfriend taken by somebody like Ansley back when she was in college. Because the recruiter ended up saying some stuff that I didn't even understand. She asked us, said, what precipitated you to come here? And Ansley, and I was like, precipitated you to come here? And Ansley, like, dumb as hell, but she's like, well, it's not raining where I'm from and all that. I was like, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't answer that shit. And she's like, what brought you down? I'm like, don't nobody say no shit like that. That made no sense. Like, just like Ansley making a 29 on the ACT is fucking shallow and stupid as she is, to say what precipitated you. Who the fuck says some shit like that? And this is from somebody who watched Frasier. We all know Frasier Crane had an extensive vocabulary, and I ain't never heard no shit like that. Especially with him being in Seattle, hell, precipitate would have been perfect for him to use. But what I really like about this, they keeping it as Texas as they can, because playing TL, the role of playing TL, Tommy's father, is none other than the man, the myth, the legend himself, that goddamn Sam Elliott. Boy, that's when I saw Sam Elliott, him playing, and that's perfect to have Sam Elliott playing Billy Bob Thornton's dad on the show. Boy, don't get no more badass in Texas than that. So I'm looking forward to season 2 of this show. But of course, as y'all know, the final dinner episode, the final scene with the dinner at the end is wild. I don't know why, I'm going to give it a little spoiler. I don't know why Tommy keeps fucking up these dinners with Angela. And then when he does, he attacks that woman time of the month. He constantly does that, and he constantly, basically, he be fucking with the bulls when he doing it, and every time he fuck with the bull, get the horns every time. I don't know why this man hasn't learned his lesson. Don't mess with Angela when she went out of her way to make dinner, and especially when she PMS. Leave that crazy ass woman alone. But hey, I'm looking forward to it. Oh man, for my Broncos, I am so happy for them because, hey, my Broncos, they on a roll. They are 9-2 after defeating the Kansas City Chiefs 22-19. Man, oh man, I don't know, boy. Hey, people saying this the worst 8-2 team they've seen in a long time. They went on and beat the Chiefs. Hey, them boys legit. I don't think they gonna win the Super Bowl. And I'm gonna be honest, I kind of don't really want them to make the Super Bowl this year because they've been winning games by the skin of their teeth. I do not want a repeat of what happened to them against Seattle. Like, shit, actually, it's been 10 years ago in the Super Bowl. Over 10 years ago in the Super Bowl when they got their ass busted, like, was it 43-8? I do not want to repeat that, which I feel if they were to go and probably meet up with the Eagles, that is what's going to happen. But they were doing good, man. The only thing I hated was the refs. Them refs sucked. They was throwing flags for everything. A lot of people say that the Chiefs are known for the refs cheating for them. No, they was throwing against the Chiefs. They was throwing against the Broncos. They was throwing against people in the stands. They was throwing flags against the camera crew. It was just, they must have got paid by the flag they thrown. And it was a fish egg crew full of brothers too. Like them niggas was not letting nothing slide. I guess they was like, man, I ain't gonna get us a fixing game. Or like saying we going for the Chiefs. They were like, we ain't losing this job. We throwing everything. Somebody blink wrong, that's a flag. Bo Nix is study showing how much of him he is. Threw for 295 yards. Pat Mahomes, you know, they struggling, them Chiefs struggling, but he threw for 276 yards and 1 touchdown. The defense though, that defense is holding up as much as they do, but we need Patrick Surtain back because Riley Moss ain't hitting on shit. That man got 2 pass interference calls that were very crucial down the pipe. The game shouldn't even been that close, but because he don't know how to cover downfield, that's why we had to squeak out with a field goal at the end. But I'm gonna say this: I don't know what was up with the game plan and why they didn't go to Troy Franklin more this game, because he made even more clutch catches this game. That man stayed making clutch catches. They should have been hitting that man all day long. I don't know what was going on, but I'm gonna say this: big shout out to Travis Kelce, who set a Chiefs all-time TD record in that game. He got his 84th touchdown, which is a franchise record for most touchdowns by a Chief, which was recently held by Priest Holmes. And if you remember Priest Holmes like I do, in the late 80s, early 2000s, that man was a dog. He ran over everybody. That was a power back in the purest form, man. So big ups to us, we 9. And also, my Florida State Seminoles, we broke 500 again. They beat Virginia Tech 34-14. But who really made me happy was the Oklahoma Sooners, because they was doing the work of the Lord and they made the country proud by beating Alabama 23-1, giving their second loss for the season. Thank you, Oklahoma. Whoo, man, boy, that my heart smiled. My Broncos won, my Seminoles won, and the Crimson Tide lost. It don't get no better than that for football. That was a perfect weekend for football. Now on the college basketball, my Duke Blue Devils, they perfect 4-0. I mean, yes, beginning of the season you play them, the weak teams, but they end up beating Indiana State 100-62. And before we talk about Indiana ain't nobody, that is where the legendary Larry Bird went to. As a matter of fact, that's where he ended up going to the national title game against future NBA Hall of Famer Irvin Magic Johnson, his Michigan State team in 1979, which spearheaded basketball becoming popular again in primetime television. For the Blue Devils, Cameron Boozer, son of, the name sounds familiar because he's son of former NBA player and Duke Blue Devils legend Carlos Boozer, led the way with 35 points and 12 rebounds. Oh, that boy studying like his daddy, ain't it? On to, we talk about basketball, NBA basketball. I'm not going to give no score. I'm just going to say this. I'm at a loss for words about this, even though a lot of the culture is happy by it. Stephen A. Smith has been removed from ESPN's NBA Countdown for the rest of the season. Hey, I guess this is a prime example of you come for the king, you best not miss. Hey, he was having his little issue with LeBron. LeBron made a couple phone calls like, I need him gone now. And he is no longer on there for the rest of the season. Me, I ain't really got no problem with Stephen A. Smith. He ain't as bad as Jason Whitlock. He say some stuff I don't agree with. He say some stuff I do agree with. But a lot of black people call that man a coon, a sellout, this, that, and the third, and they happy that he gone. But that is just, that's a sad state of affairs, man. But speaking of ESPN, I am so happy because I was on Facebook and I recently seen this. We talking about black ESPN sportscasters. Found out that ESPN is doing a 30 for 30 on the man, the myth, the legend, and my late frat brother, Stuart Scott. You know, cool to the other side of the pillow. Oh, man. And they aptly named it Booyah, a portrait of Stuart Scott. Boy, I cannot wait for that to premiere on December 10th. I will be there full effect to watch that, because I'm going to be honest, I used to want to be a sportscaster growing up, and he was one of the reasons I wanted to be a sportscaster. Coupled by the fact I couldn't actually play sports, but I still wanted some way to be around the game. But hey, I cannot wait for that. When the premiere, I will be there front and center. Thank you, ESPN, for giving us a 30-30 that is worth the damn after Lord knows how long. Y'all, that's been my time on the porch this week. You know, y'all can find me on Facebook. Just search my name. You can follow me on Instagram, PeteMac10, PeteMac10. You can follow me on TikTok, PeteMac89, same as Instagram. Drop the 1 to 0, put an 8 and 9 there. Like my posts, comment on them, share, but most of all, follow. Until next week, y'all, be cool, stay calm, get paid. Peace.